So now we're in GarageBand. So if you open your app, you'll start a new song. So what you can probably see, I have lots and lots of projects on here, but we just press the plus button and that'll begin a new one. So what you can see here is that when I'm swiping, you can see all of the different instruments that you can do. So you've got drums, keyboard, there's a sound library, there's a drummer. I'll explain all of this in a minute. World, guitar, bass, strings, audio recorder, we'll be using that as well. But first we're just going to start with the keyboard, so we'll just select that for now. Now when you're starting up your song, what you need to pay attention to is this little wheel thing at the top of the top of the page, and you press on that, and then that will tell you, you can see it has the tempo, the time signature, and the key signature. So tempo just means how fast or slow you want to go. Now I usually slow that right down, so all you just do is pull it down just to nice and slow. I go really slow, maybe to 40, because it's much easier to record at that speed. Then if you look at your time signature, this is what I was just saying before, there's only 3 options. So our piece of music, our Hungarian dance, is in 2/4. So I'm going to keep it on 4/4 because it's the closest to 2/4. Then our key signature, luckily we have lots of options for our key signature. We're going to select the minor key. So, and if you remember, we're going to be in G minor. Now this is important for later when you're using the guitar or the strings, if you choose to use those instruments. And that's about all we have to worry about there. We want to have our metronome on, which is this blue thing up here. Make sure that's on for when you're recording, because you need to know if you're in time. The other thing you'll need, I just realised I didn't bring them with me, is my headphones. So you need a pair of headphones that you can plug into your iPad. That way you don't hear everything coming out. Then the other thing we need to do is the plus sign. Press on that where it says section A. What I usually do is just add heaps and heaps of bars, because I found if I didn't do that it would loop back on me and it was a little bit tricky, a little bit irritating. So you'd have to record it all again. So if you just, instead of just having 8 bars, again do the opposite of what you did before, just swipe up, and you can add as many or as little bars as you like. 108 will be plenty, and that's all we have to do to start off with. The other thing here, you can see it says koto. Now I like that sounding, it's sort of a little bit harpsichordy but a little bit plucked, so that's what I often use. But you can see there's also other instruments there as well, like there's a upright bass, I often use that one as well. Otherwise there's heaps and heaps of sounds in the keyboards. There's a synthesizer, there's even more sounds there, so there's heaps and heaps to choose from. Yeah, so the sky's the limit with your sounds, and if you choose the wrong sound, doesn't matter either, because you can change that later too. So that's about all we need to do. These little lines up the top left, they take you to your tracks. Every time you want to add a new instrument, you just press the plus button at the bottom and take you back to that selection, and I'll select keyboard again, and I'm going to choose the koto because I'm going to use that anyway, and I might find something else to use as well. So you can hear sort of sounds a little bit almost like a harp. And the bass, if you want to hear, there's like a music box. I often use this. It's good for a melody. But yes, it's really easy. So you can just press the keyboard like a piano and the sounds come out. Recording takes a little bit of practice, but it's not too hard if you go really slow. So we'll do that now.